Hello. Thank you for taking time for yourself and joining me here again. Let's explore together today where our energy might be hiding. Do you sometimes feel like the morning starts off on the wrong foot? As though your body isn't quite awake yet. Your joints feel a little stiff, and your mind is already buzzing with worries that instantly drain the joy from the day ahead? This is so familiar to many of us. As we age, our bodies wisely adapt. Joints might need more attention, muscles need a bit more time to warm up, and our minds, having accumulated so much experience, sometimes habitually focus on problems right away. It's the natural course of things. But here's what's interesting. Some morning habits that seem completely harmless can act like invisible anchors, keeping our energy grounded. For example, the habit of diving into anxious thoughts right after waking. It's like starting the day with a backpack full of rocks. Or staying in dim light, not giving your body the signal to wake up, like trying to grow a flower without sunlight. But there's good news too. By recognizing these moments and making small, truly simple adjustments, you can reclaim that feeling of lightness and vitality. I promise you, no complex rituals or overwhelming tasks. A few accessible changes can help you feel more centered, calm, and full of energy for the day's accomplishments. So stay with me. Let's uncover these silent energy thieves together and find simple ways to bring back your morning vitality. You deserve this. Let's start with the very first moments of the day. Think about how you wake up. Do you feel that familiar morning freeze? Your body feels wooden, your neck is stiff, your back aches, your knees creak with the first attempt to stand up. It seems like you need to muster all your willpower just to get out of bed. This morning stiffness is a common companion as we age. That's true. But a common mistake lies in how we react to it. We either grit our teeth and jump up sharply, ignoring our body's signals, or conversely, we stay motionless for too long, fearing discomfort and prolonging this unpleasant state. Neither is the best option. It's like trying to start a frozen car engine with a sharp turn of the key. The engine might protest. Our body needs a smoother, gentler startup. Instead of fighting the stiffness or passively succumbing to it, try dedicating just 5 to 10 minutes to very gentle, fluid movements right in bed or immediately after swinging your legs to the floor. Don't force your body. Gently invite it to wake up. I remember George, 71, a former construction worker. Every morning for him began with the feeling that his joints had rusted overnight. He was used to getting up with groans, feeling old and clumsy, believing the best way to cope was just to endure it and then walk it off. The idea of doing any movements right after sleep seemed strange, even frightening. What if it made things worse? He associated mornings with inevitable discomfort. On his doctor's advice, he decided to try the simplest movements: slow head turns, shoulder rolls, flexing fingers and toes, gently pulling knees to his chest one at a time. Just 5 minutes, very slowly. At first, without much enthusiasm. But after just a few days, he noticed that getting up had become easier. The stiffness didn't magically disappear, but it became less pronounced and faded faster. He felt less frozen. You see, these gentle movements improve blood circulation in the joints and muscles, help produce synovial fluid, our natural lubricant, and reduce inflammation signals. It's like carefully lubricating rusty hinges before swinging the door wide open. For George, this became not just physical relief, but psychological too. He felt a sense of control over his body and started the morning with self-care, not a struggle. So, perhaps it's worth reconsidering your first few minutes awake? A few gentle movements can significantly ease the start of your day. And so, our body starts to gently awaken. But what's happening with our mind during this time? Doesn't it happen that, barely having opened our eyes, we immediately plunge into a whirlpool of worries? We start running through the day's to-do list, remembering yesterday's problems, worrying about health, children, grandchildren, world news. This immediate switch from sleep to active problem-solving is another silent energy thief. It's like plunging headfirst into icy water. Instead of a gentle awakening of consciousness, we immediately activate fight or flight mode, triggering the release of stress hormones like cortisol. As a result, we feel mentally and emotionally drained before we've even had our morning tea, setting an anxious, tense tone for the entire day. But here too, there's a simple antidote. Try replacing this immediate plunge into worries with a few minutes of mindful calm or gratitude. Create a small but very important buffer between sleep and the day's hustle. Let me tell you about Evelyn, 69, a retired nurse. She had always been an anxious person, and her mornings often began with a wave of troubling thoughts. "My brain is just wired that way, I can't help it," she used to say, feeling tired and overwhelmed before breakfast. The idea of not thinking about problems seemed unrealistic to her, but one day she read about the practice of gratitude and decided to try it, albeit skeptically. Instead of immediately grabbing onto her list of worries while still lying in bed, she started finding 3 simple things she was grateful for right then: the warm blanket, the sound of birds outside the window, the upcoming cup of aromatic tea. Just a couple of minutes. At first, it felt a bit artificial, but gradually, she noticed a subtle change. The morning anxiety didn't vanish completely, but it became quieter, less all-consuming. She started the day with a slightly lighter feeling. You see, shifting your focus to positive or neutral things helps reduce that sharp morning cortisol spike. It's like setting your internal emotional barometer to clear instead of storm warning. Psychologically, this simple action gave her back a sense of control and interrupted the automatic chain of negative thoughts. What thoughts does your morning begin with? Gift yourself these precious first minutes. Notice something pleasant. Take a few deep breaths. By consciously choosing your first thoughts, you preserve your energy. Now let's talk about that third mistake, one that often happens completely unnoticed, literally before we even realize it, and it relates to what surrounds us in the first minutes of being awake. Where do you spend the first 15-30 minutes after waking up? Perhaps in a cozy bedroom with heavy curtains, or in the kitchen under dim artificial light. We often seek comfort and semi-darkness in the morning, considering it an extension of nighttime rest. But it's precisely the lack of bright, natural light in the first hours after waking that can subtly disrupt our internal clocks and contribute to feelings of sluggishness and drowsiness throughout the day. It's so insidious because it feels like we're doing the right thing, ensuring a smooth transition. But in reality, it's like trying to start a complex machine without giving it the main starting signal. Our body is programmed to respond to light. The solution here is surprisingly simple. Replace staying in darkness or dim light with 5 to 15 minutes of exposure to natural daylight as soon as possible after waking, even if it's just the light from a window on a cloudy day. Remember Richard, 70 years old. He loved his morning routine, waking up without opening the curtains, going to his cozy study, turning on a desk lamp, and reading the newspaper with coffee. He complained about difficulty falling asleep at night and daytime drowsiness, even though he seemed to sleep enough. He never connected this to his morning lighting, thinking the dimness created a calm atmosphere. But on a friend's advice, he decided to experiment. Upon waking, the first thing he did was open the curtains wide, letting in the morning light. He drank his coffee by the kitchen window. On nice days, he even stepped out onto the balcony for a couple of minutes. And what do you know? Within a week, he noticed that his morning drowsiness faded faster, and he felt naturally more alert. After a couple of weeks, he was surprised to find that falling asleep at night had become a bit easier. Physiologically, bright morning light sends a powerful signal to our brain, to the master clock controlling our circadian rhythms. This signal suppresses the production of the sleep hormone melatonin and triggers the release of chemicals responsible for alertness. It's like correctly setting your internal clock each morning. Psychologically, contact with natural light connects us with the rhythm of nature. Think about it. Is there enough light in your morning? Open the curtains wide, sit by the window. It's a free and powerful tool for tuning your energy rhythms. So, we've woken up, moved gently, set our minds to a calm state, let in the light. What's next? Next, many of us fall into another subtle trap, the trap of immediate sitting. You get out of bed, maybe go to the bathroom, and then immediately sit down in your favorite armchair with a cup of coffee or at the kitchen table for breakfast. It seems logical. Rest a bit after sleep before starting active tasks. But here's the paradox. Transitioning directly from a horizontal position to prolonged sitting can actually lull your body back towards sleep, increase morning stiffness, and make the subsequent transition to activity more difficult. It's like accelerating a car and then immediately hitting the brakes. Muscles and joints, just beginning to awaken, revert to a static, passive state. How to avoid this trap? Very simply, replace immediate and prolonged sitting with 15 to 30 minutes of light upright activity. No need to run a marathon, Just stay on your feet and move a little. Recall Barbara's story, 66 years old. Her morning ritual was unchanging. Get up, make coffee, and immediately settle into a soft armchair by the window. The perfect start to the day, she thought. But she noticed that when she eventually needed to get up and start doing things around the house, she felt terribly stiff and sluggish. It took considerable effort to get going. At her daughter's suggestion, she tried not sitting down right away. While the coffee brewed, she walked around the kitchen, put away dishes, watered plants. She drank her coffee standing by the window or strolling slowly. Only then, after about 20 to 30 minutes, would she sit in the armchair, but not for long. To her surprise, transitioning to her tasks became much easier. By staying upright and performing light movements, she maintained circulation, preventing her muscles and joints from freezing up again. It's like keeping a spinning top going with gentle nudges, not letting it fall immediately. This set an active tone from the very beginning of the day. Observe yourself. Do you fall into the trap of immediate sitting? Try staying on your feet a little longer before settling comfortably into that chair. And finally, there's one more aspect of our morning that is often overlooked, but holds immense importance for our emotional charge, and consequently, our energy. Our mornings are often filled with necessities, taking medication, preparing breakfast, planning the day. We perform routine actions, but often forget to add something that brings us simple, genuine joy or peace. The morning becomes functional, but soulless. The absence of such a small personal ritual, unrelated to obligations, can make the start of the day feel gray and strip it of emotional energy. It's like preparing a healthy dish, but forgetting to add your favorite spice. Edible, but uninspiring. The solution here lies in consciously adding a pleasant moment. Replace a purely functional start to the day by incorporating a small but meaningful ritual for you that brings pleasure or calm. Think about Samuel, 73 years old. After his wife passed away, his mornings became very quiet and monotonous. Waking up, hygiene, pills, breakfast, news. All correct, but he felt an emptiness and a lack of spark. Morning was just time to be endured. After talking with his daughter, he decided to try adding something for the soul. He remembered how he used to love listening to classical music, so he started playing his favorite recordings for 10 to 15 minutes while drinking his morning tea, just sitting and listening. Sometimes he'd look through an old photo album. Sometimes he'd spend 5 minutes tending to his houseplant. These were tiny islands of pleasure. Gradually, he noticed that the morning ceased to feel so impersonal. There was something to look forward to with pleasant anticipation. Activities that bring pleasure stimulate the production of happiness hormones, improve mood, and provide a charge of positive energy. Such a ritual gives the morning meaning unrelated to duties, providing a sense of caring for one's inner world. Is there something in your morning that you do simply because it brings you joy? Favorite music, a few pages of a good book, watching birds, fragrant tea from a beautiful cup, a short prayer, caring for a pet. Find your own little morning spice. Start the day with a drop of something that makes your soul smile. So, there we have it. Step by step, we've looked at several moments in our morning, from waking the body and mind to the light around us and small joys that can subtly influence our energy balance. As you can see, this isn't about heroic feats or strict rules, but about paying attention to yourself, about small but conscious changes that are within everyone's reach. At your age, you have accumulated an invaluable wealth of wisdom and life experience. You know yourself, your strengths, and your weaknesses, and you definitely know that you deserve to feel good, vibrant, fulfilled, at any age. Energy is not a privilege of youth. It's our right, which can and should be nurtured with love and care. Don't try to change everything at once. Choose just one thing that resonated with you most today. Maybe tomorrow morning you'll try doing a couple of gentle stretches in bed, or consciously open the curtains wider, or find 5 minutes for your favorite music. Be patient and kind to yourself on this journey. Your strength lies in your wisdom and your right to choose what makes you healthier and happier. Believe in your ability to create a good and energetic morning every day. You can do this.